In the last video, we saw that how we can individually fetch the content of an element inside the JavaScript object. And now we have added one more property that is in the form of two checkbox. So I will be specifying that how you can retrieve the content of the direct JavaScript object, and you can see how the parsing will not be required for that. So let me show you the code part first. So as usual, these two text boxes still there. I've added two checkbox. I've given one ID as theory, the other one is as practical. So the button is still the save underscore data. When it gives a call, it will be calling this particular function. So the first thing I have done is that I've declared two variables, theory and practical, because I don't know which checkbox will be selected. So in case if the first checkbox is checked, then it will be considered as have a value of 1. Otherwise, it's going to have a value of 0. Similarly, if I click the second checkbox practical, it will be having a value of 1. Otherwise, it's going to be 0. So individually, these two JavaScript variables got declared. Now is the time when we have to go for our JavaScript object. So like the previous video, two text box, trade name and the description I'm taking with the help of my jQuery. Now what I have to do is that I have to put these two things together, and for that reason here comes something called a JavaScript array. Okay, so this is a kind of JSON array. So trade underscore type is going to be a JSON array, and inside this JSON array there has to be an individual JSON object. Okay, so this is my key, that is a theory, and whatever value either 1 or 0 has to be there, that will be over here. And this is my next key, that is called practical, either 1 or 0 as per this will be over here. So that means the third element of the JavaScript object is going to be an array. Okay, so now the content of my JSON object has improvised, and like previously, if I directly print my JSON object, it will be showing me object, which we have seen already. But the JSON provide me a particular function called Stringify. Okay, this is a very important function. In the upcoming days we will be working on this particular function. So what it will be going to do is it will convert the JSON object into a string, and we will see the entire content of this particular object. Okay, no more conversation, directly let's go and execute the program. Here it is. So I go for computer science and computer, and then I'm going to choose one, the other one I'm leaving it. Okay, and I hit the button. So once I do that, just see over here, the first element, which was directly the data, as usual showed me object, but as I went for Stringify, it has converted this JSON object into a string, and that's the reason we can see each of the key. So this was my key, this was the value, this was my key, this was the value, this was my array, which consists of two elements, one theory, the other one is practical. The theory was chosen, so one is been shown. The practical was not chosen, so it goes with 0. That means if I rerun the program once again, so let's go one more time with computer science, with computer, and this time I'm going to provide both the checkboxes, and as expected, it is clearly showing me both the values as 1. So we saw how Stringify is going to parse the object, and with that object it will be generating an array. Okay, which is basically this array. The object was there, and from that we got a string, and the whole string is represented in this format. Well, we can also go for parsing of those things, and it can be simplified further, and that's what we will be covering in my upcoming videos. And one more important thing, you saw that inside the JSON object we could create a JSON array and an element as JSON array, and individually they will be having an object within. Okay, so things are getting interesting, so let's wait for my next video. Until then, have a nice time.